What if I told you the war may have already begun? Not with a missile strike, not with boots on the ground, but with a silent signal. One that set off alarms deep inside Israel's most secure military command center? Because just days ago, Iran may have activated a weapon they've never admitted even exists. And Israel? They didn't wait for confirmation. They struck back. Fast, hard, and without warning. But what is this so-called secret weapon? Why now? And could this be the opening move of a full-scale regional war? Let's break it down, because what just happened in the shadows could reshape the entire Middle East. It started with a flash. Not in Tehran, not in Jerusalem, but in northern Syria. Satellite intelligence picked up an unusual spike in electromagnetic activity near a known Iranian Revolutionary Guard base. Within hours, Israeli air defenses moved into combat readiness. Their northern Iron Dome batteries were powered up, without any official alert from Iran. So what triggered the sudden escalation? It wasn't a missile, it wasn't a drone. It was something worse, a suspected electromagnetic pulse array, a theoretical weapon Iran has been accused of developing in secret. Now here's where things get interesting. This technology, if it exists, could fry communications, disable power grids, and shut down electronic warfare systems without firing a single explosive round. And it may have already been tested. Within 6 hours of that signal being detected, Israeli fighter jets were in the air, but not toward Iran. No, they hit the outskirts of Damascus, destroying what they claimed were military research facilities tied to Iran's Quds force. But leaked satellite photos suggest otherwise. Zoom in close enough, and you'll see antenna arrays, mobile generators, and shielding, hallmarks of electromagnetic testing stations. Israel's message was clear. We see what you're doing, and we won't wait. But Iran? They didn't flinch. In fact, they responded with something far more calculated. According to intelligence experts, Iran's true strength doesn't lie in its missiles. It lies in its proxies. Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, militias in Iraq and Syria, all quietly supplied, trained, and connected by Iran's Quds Force Cyber Ops unit, a unit that's been completely off the radar until now. New reports from cybersecurity firms in Tel Aviv suggest that Iran's cyber units have been mapping Israeli infrastructure for over a year. They know the electric grid. They know the defense communication channels. And more chillingly, they may have found vulnerabilities. If that secret weapon, this EMP array, were truly operational, Iran could coordinate a simultaneous cyber and electromagnetic attack that blinds Israel before a single missile is even fired. Now, here's where things get terrifying. According to retired Mossad operatives speaking anonymously, Israel has activated DEFCON-level contingency protocols, including pre-authorized airstrikes on nuclear enrichment sites, deployment of Dolphin-class submarines armed with long-range cruise missiles, and even rumored discussions about non-conventional response options. Non-conventional. Let that word sink in. Because this is no longer just about deterrence. This is survival strategy. And what pushed Israel over the edge. A hack. Just 48 hours after the suspected EMP test, Israel's air traffic control system glitched, briefly grounding flights across the country. Coincidence? The Israeli Defense Ministry doesn't think so. This isn't just Israel and Iran anymore. The U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet has rerouted 2 destroyers into the Persian Gulf. NATO satellites have increased surveillance of Iranian ports. And France, yes, even France, has called an emergency session of its Defense Council. Why? Because if Iran's weapon is real, every Western military base in the region is suddenly vulnerable. We're talking about command centers in Qatar, radar sites in Turkey, missile defense shields in Saudi Arabia. One blast, one cyber signal, and all of it could go dark. Here's the question Israeli analysts are asking right now behind closed doors. Does Israel wait? Or do they preempt? They've done it before. 1981, Iraq's Osirak reactor. 2007, Syria's Al-Kabar nuclear facility. Both were taken out in surprise airstrikes before they could go live. Now, with Iran's suspected EMP weapon possibly online, insiders say Operation Shadow Dome is on the table. A preemptive strike deep into Iran, beyond proxy lines, beyond Syria, into the heart of their military innovation facilities. But here's the danger. One wrong move, and the entire region could ignite. So, where do we go from here? Iran denies everything. Israel refuses to confirm or deny. And behind the scenes, the most advanced silent form of warfare is possibly already underway. Not bombs, not bullets, but beams, signals, and sabotage. And the terrifying part? We may not even see the first strike until it's too late.